If you are looking for signs for your team or business, look no further than High Tech Signs and Apparel, a state-of-the-art full-service sign shop. And from the clean and modern off-white shop to the latest technology in designing and producing signs, High Tech Signs has a sales staff of over 25 years experience to cater your every need. Services include large format digital printing, interior signage, exterior signage, vehicle solutions, and apparel. When it comes to solving the sign problems, the solution is High Tech Signs and Apparel. Located at 3359 Middle Road, Suite 2 in Bettendorf, you can call them with any of your questions at 563-449-9400. High Tech Signs and Apparel, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. All-American Diner, the leading restaurant serving Muscatine County and surrounding areas since 2020, serving breakfast all day as well as lunch and dinner. They offer a fish fry every Friday and a buffet on the weekends. For your next meal, visit All-American Diner in Muscatine or call for more information at 563-263-2224. All-American Diner, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks. The Riverhawks Media Network is looking forward to bringing you, the fans, nonstop football action here this 2021 season. But we are also excited to bring you a way to get involved in the action and support a great cause all season long. The Muscatine Riverhawks, in partnership with the Riverhawks Media Network, are proud to bring the season-long donations with our partners of the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. The Riverhawks have committed to donating as a team every time the defense gets a sack, turnover, touchdown, or safety. We are asking you, the fans, to get involved in this great organization that assists families with sick children stay close to each other and provide care and resources when they need it most. So while you support the team on the field, come support our team in donating to this great cause. More information can be provided across all of our social media platforms or by visiting gf.me/u/ZPNWMM. Thank you, the fans, for all the support you've given the Muscatine Riverhawks over the last 5 years. The Quad City Insulators. With over a decade in home comfort, the Quad City Insulators exist to serve the needs of their homeowners, architects, farmers, and business owners. The amount of money that is wasted due to heating and cooling loss has created a strong demand for not only their superior products, but superior workmanship. They can be contacted at 309-373-0505 and are proud sponsors of the Muscatine Riverhawks.
The following broadcast is a production of the Riverhawks Media Network and is property of the Muscatine Riverhawks. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of Muscatine Riverhawks football is strictly prohibited.
And welcome here, episode 7, Riverhawks Weekly. Tyler being alongside my partner in crime, former Monmouth College wide receiver, Jake Landry. Jake, how are you, bud?
Well, I had my bye week, I had my week off, and now I'm ready to get back to some football, but, sadly, that's not happening this week.
Well, I was going to say, usually you say that you're excited to talk football, and we're still going to talk that here as Riverhawks come off of their first of 2 consecutive bye weeks. And why not start with the rundown? Because there were still 3 other games in the MAFL. The rundown presented by Nutrition Outlet. The Savages beat the Nighthawks 46-18 in Davenport. Burlington fell to the Midwest Hawks in a closer game than what the score dictates, 38-18. And then the Effingham County Storm defeat the Clark County Chiefs 26-7. Obviously, Muscatine and Peoria both on byes. Here's another opportunity now, with a few games done this year, to show you the league standings. The Midwest Hawks at 4-0, Peoria at 3-0, the Savages at 3-1, Storm 3-1, MST 2-1, our Riverhawks 1-2, entering the second bye week. TST 1-2, the Clark County Chiefs 1-2, the Nighthawks 1-3, and the Burlington Express at the bottom of the league standings 0-3. And obviously, as we talk every single week, Jake, we're going to get closer and closer to playoff talk. Playoffs, we're not talking playoffs just yet. But what do you see out of these standings here so far? Obviously, Muscatine there, what is that, 6th place? A lot of room to grow, still lots of games to play left on the schedule. Just give me your thoughts.
Well, at this point, your 2 losses come from the 2 teams on the top of that board.
Sure.
So I guess that's comforting to think of at the moment. But now that's going to make you realize, okay, when you get to this playoff situation, we're looking at a rematch most likely for both of these teams, either in the semifinals or in the championship. So, of course, if this trend keeps going with the Midwest Hawks and the Punishers, it's definitely those teams that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. But it's still early in the season. We still have a lot more games to play. So take this bye week to regroup and focus on these next teams coming up.
Yes, like I said, 2 consecutive bye weeks for the Riverhawks, really unheard of in terms of the organization in this league. And I guess my next question for you, Jake, we talked about the league standings, the Midwest Hawks and the Punishers, both 4-0 and 3-0. Those are your 2 losses. So if you're a Riverhawks player, or Riverhawks coach watching this podcast, you got to pat yourself on the back a little bit. You got the toughest, in my opinion, the toughest games out of the way, with still plenty of competition to go. What are the advantages and disadvantages of 2 consecutive bye weeks?
Well, the obvious advantage is you have time to rest. Your body has a chance to recover from the beating it took, especially with 2 hard-hitting games like we witnessed in the last 2 weeks.
Big time.
But there's a huge disadvantage, in my opinion, with having 2 bye weeks when it comes to just getting comfortable with, you finally have gotten 3 games under your belt, and you're in this rhythm of mid-season form is what they call it.
Sure.
Well, you get 2 bye weeks, and you could fall out of mid-season form pretty easy. I remember my junior year, my last year we had a team that folded. Grinnell College folded the week after our bye week, so we had back-to-back bye weeks. We came back the next week, and we played an opponent that was not very good, but, man, we come out that next game, and we were just flat. So there runs the risk of that. However, the advantages are you have a chance to regroup, especially after a game like we had a few weeks ago. You have a chance to regroup, rebuild, and definitely figure out those kinks that are going on in the offense and the defense.
Jake, something that I noticed that from our last couple of broadcasts, obviously the Riverhawks offense has seen a little bit of turnover. Martin Barnhart no longer here, Kyle Bass taking over the play calling duties, and obviously that's a lot to handle, especially not necessarily midseason. You're still early on in the year, but that's a lot to handle when you have 2 quarterbacks, Kyle Franklin and Zach Taylor, splitting reps. And something that I asked Coach Eric Johnson, as the Riverhawks are still practicing, they're still getting together and trying to find themselves internally in terms of what they need to do to get over this hump after the bye week and really take off. Because I really think the Riverhawks are going to be in a prime position to move and win a lot of games and chunk some wins together to head to the playoffs. Essentially, Eric said on 2 fronts, coaching, a better use of personnel as a whole. And I think that will grow in the bye week as they practice. They get plays out there, guys switching in and out, just knowing where guys are supposed to line up, where they're supposed to be. In terms of players, he pretty much just said staying in the kitchen longer and getting used to that heat. The saying, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. The players have to understand a way to face those, early on kickoff returns for touchdowns and, an early turnover on offense. When we face those things, we have to learn to fight back and battle back. And something we saw in both the Midwest Hawks and the Peoria Punishers game is they fought back late. It was not necessarily a runaway when it easily could have been. Guys competed until the end, so that's a positive that Eric Johnson is taking out of this. Any thoughts to how the players can not necessarily learn, but, I guess learn and grow from that experience of being hit in the mouth early on, but you compete, and then you have to assume that the coaching is going to take care of the personnel changes and making sure guys are in the right place at the right time, right?
Well, absolutely. So at this point, you have film on the game. You know who can do what right about now. However, there are some gaps, I believe, in the running game. We're trying to find an identity there on do we want to be a finesse offense or do we want to play smash mouth football there? But they're trying to work that out, especially with 2 great running backs we have back in the backfield. But what we have seen from the last 2 games is the potential for this team to fall behind, yet find each other, and it was late in the game, correct, but at the same time, there was a point where we were battling back, and I believe our broadcast cut out right before that was happening, but man, was it exciting to watch. So there is potential behind this. However, we have seen them at their lowest moments when people start pointing fingers, people start getting frustrated with one another.
Yep.
And that is going to be a big part about what they want to find out about the identity of this team when it comes to battling back in tough situations.
Two big things that I saw from the Punishers game, at least at the end, that has me reassured. The first thing, Kyle Bass brought the team together after that game and said, look at the score, guys. We were really in this thing in the last few minutes. Imagine if we put 4 complete quarters together, what we're able to accomplish as a team. And they're stronger together than they are apart. Those are the two big things that I've seen. I think back-to-back bye weeks is going to help this Riverhawks team maybe reset the tone, reset the dials, get back into the lab, find out what works and what doesn't. And then May 16th against the Quad City Nighthawks, you can watch that game here on the Riverhawks Media Network, really start getting going. The other thing I want to mention is that the Riverhawks defense is going to get a big help in 2 ways. Wesley Stewart and Emmanuel Hamilton at DB are coming back. 2 veterans, 2 well-experienced players that know Eric Johnson's defense. What a big help that's going to be with a team that's given up a lot of points over the last couple weeks.
100%, because you got experience coming in. It's not just 2 new guys that haven't, been a part of this program. You've got 2 guys who have played in this league and know what to expect from this game. So what I like about it is this defense has already been flying pretty high at some points. Of course, they've had a couple lows that can go back to the offense not giving much help. However, this is a high point scoring defense that we already have. We have 2 safeties in one game, a bunch of pick sixes and
scoop and
scores all over the place. So you're just adding more potential for points on the board from the defense and better stops in that secondary.
Well, and hopefully more high-pitched squeals from me as a Riverhawks defensive player runs into the end zone for a touchdown, which is brought to you by the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois. Kyle and Sam, dig into your pockets and give us some more of that money for a great cause. Hey, obviously, league-wide bye week this week because it's Mother's Day, so obviously, I got to get a little internal here. Mom, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for everything that you do to make me a great man and human being. I appreciate everything you've done. And if you're watching this, I love you so much, and I hope you have a good Mother's Day. Jake, you want to say the same thing to yours?
Absolutely. Mom, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your support back down in Texas, even though we're 1,000 miles away. Love you to death, and can't wait to see you soon.
Hey, don't get the waterworks going just yet. And speaking of that, our 2 guests, obviously, we are not in Mi Casa. We are in the home of Kyle and Samantha Bass. Sam Bass and Melissa Johnson join us as our guests. So let's take a quick break, bring them in to talk a little Riverhawks football right here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Travel accommodations for the Muscatine Riverhawks and the Riverhawks Media Network are provided by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, located at 3220 East 53rd Street, Suite A in Davenport. More information can be provided by calling 563-209-9631. Enterprise Rent-A-Car, proud sponsors of Riverhawks football.
Holler's Bar and Grill. Food to drool over and entertainment to make you dance. This is what you would imagine in a Quad Cities bar, and Holler's Bar and Grill is just the place to have it. Serving happy hour every day from 3 to 5 p.m. with daily drink and food specials. They also deliver. Contact them at 309-277-9028. Holler's Bar and Grill, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football.
Nutrition Outlet. If you are looking to maintain your health or get back in shape, Nutrition Outlet provides a wide variety of products and services, including biometric scanning, organic salon, detox sessions, emotional balancing, and natural health assessments. Contact them at 563-264-8124. Nutrition Outlet, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football.
And we are back here on the Riverhawks Media Network, joined by 2 owners, Melissa Johnson and Samantha Bass. Guys, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. Okay, bye week number 1 out of the way. How was it? Did you guys do anything fun, or was it just kind of more of a relaxation mode? Obviously, being owners in this league, it's never really a day or a week off, but just give us some insight on what you guys did.
I worked, and then we had a fun celebration of team night at the Dam View on Saturday.
Excellent. About the same for you?
Yep, we went to the Dam View. We were there most of the night, and Sunday we recovered and just hung out with the kids.
Well, it's in my mind, it's important when you're putting everything together like this, not only from getting games and refs scheduled to getting apparel, put together, or making sure all the players are checked up on in terms of injuries and health. And then us here at the Riverhawks Media Network, it's good to unwind for a second. So I'm glad you guys got to take that time.
No, I definitely needed it after the last few weeks. So Going on to the next question for both of y'all. What's your favorite part about being a part of this team? Like, what do y'all enjoy the most about being a part of the Riverhawks?
As cliche as it might sound, honestly, changing people's lives. And I know that sounds crazy just being semi-pro football, but we've had people before, tell us that, hey, this keeps us off the streets, or this keeps us out of being in trouble. So it's that for me. The little things like that, just making them happy and seeing them do what they love.
I like the family unit. It's developed, like everyone's a family in this unit, and so that's something that I enjoy. People come to us knowing if they need something, we're there for them. They are always there for us, and so on. So it's really nice.
Awesome. I could definitely tell the minute I walked in with this organization from the first practice, the first game, everybody's close. Everybody just, loves to be a part of it. And I mean, of course, opportunities like this isn't my internship. It's an opportunity for me to do something that I have found that I really enjoy. So, of course, I'm grateful for it, but I definitely see what you mean there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's more than just a game, right? I mean, obviously the Sundays when we're live doing the broadcast, we're only focused on the game, but there are so many levels to this and so many aspects of things that our viewers don't get to see. So it's good to have you guys on here, and my next question for both of you, obviously it's the Mother's Day edition of the podcast, so of course, happy Mother's Day to both of you. Obviously the moms to great, beautiful kids, and that's a full-time job in and of itself, right? And then you both have full-time jobs outside of this organization, and then on top of it, you've got all this in front of you. So how do you guys balance that time? I mean, is it time management? Is it just kind of on the fly? I mean, I know you both have different personalities, and I'm sure you have different ways of doing things. So just give us some insight on how you handle it all. And then on top of that, being wives to two great husbands on this team.
Mine's pretty on the fly. Mine's 100 miles an hour. I work full-time, and so I just run all day and all night usually, and try to be as organized as possible. So
Lots of coffee?
Lots of caffeine. Lots of caffeine. Yes.
What about you, Sam?
Same thing. We're always on the go, especially with little kids. We have softball, baseball, wrestling, all the sports. So it's pretty much on the fly too. We're lucky that we have Eric. He does almost all of the big stuff for us this year.
Right.
Super thankful for him. And then Kyle as well. He handles all the other stuff that Eric doesn't handle. So we're pretty behind the scenes, but busy all the time too.
Well, hey, we know you guys watch us from afar, and so it's good to have you on to kind of pick your brain and stuff.
Great.
So I commend you both for everything that you guys do. I am sitting here going, I got a full-time job, and I got to do this, and I got a girlfriend and a dog at home. I don't know if I can handle it all, but you guys are just knocking it out of the park. So
Yeah, you say behind the scenes, but we know you do more than that, both of y'all. But this is more tailored towards you, Sam. How do you balance on game day? Selling merchandise, you're an owner, you got to make sure everything's ready to go, and you're a photographer. How do you balance that on game day?
Oh, it's hard. On top of watching the kids, our kids are always there. It happens. So we luck out. My parents always step in and sell the apparel for us at the table, so that helps. And other people will chime in too to help. Love taking the pictures. That's just a personal fun thing. That's not like I have to do it. It's just here and there. You just make it happen.
Well, the team is grateful that you do. I know they're always commenting in the player page. They're always looking for pics. Next time you're out there, get a picture for me for my LinkedIn profile.
Got it.
Hey, I like that. I really do. Maybe I need one as well. Melissa, this question's going to be catered to you. Obviously, most of the time Sundays you're just looking to kind of hang back, watch the game, assist Sam or Kyle or Eric where you can. But obviously you're a full-time nurse, so when it comes to nurse practitioner, excuse me. Hey, that's important. That's my fault. I'll take the blame on that one. You're a full-time nurse practitioner, so when it comes to the bumps, from anything from bumps to bruises to cuts to dislocated bones, you're the person. Maybe you'll hear it on the broadcast. I wish Kyle was in here, but obviously Sam kicked him out. Melissa, anytime you hear Melissa, here she comes running. How hard is that to really do? I mean, obviously it's kind of right up your alley in terms of what you work in the field. So it's got to be easy to a certain extent, and then you have busier days than others, do you not?
I do, and our last game was quite busy because we had multiple injuries, and it's usually, it's not hard to handle. It's pretty just reactionary. When I hear Eric screaming my name, I run on the field, and especially, I think one of our first games out, I can't remember, a few years back, and Alan snapped his leg in half, gives me a little PTSD, so I'm out there pretty quickly. It's not, it's something, if they're not sure what's going on, I go out there and check it out and try to help and do what I can to make them field.
So really on your days off, it's not even a day off, right?
It's not a day off.
Well, for neither of them.
Never a day off. Yep. So.
Okay, my last question for both of you before we let you run off is, obviously this organization's been around for, 5-6 years, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen it grow to a Riverhawks Media Network from the ground up. Where do you guys really want to see this organization take off? And that's a loaded question. I mean, you could answer it any other way, but maybe just you personally. Do you want to just keep seeing things continue the way they have been, or do you have any aspirations to grow in any areas, or... Because we get to ask these questions to Kyle and Eric all the time,
Right.
and you know, they're throwing stuff left and right. I mean, just to get your guys' perspective, because you are owners, and obviously you all have one like-minded goal, which is to win a league championship. That's obviously the goal for every team in this league. But just from your guys' perspective as an organization, any room for improvement anywhere? That's one question we did not go over before we jumped on here. So.
I'd like to see us win a championship again.
Sure.
That was like an awesome year. That was a fun year, and it gives the guys a sense of huge achievement, and it's so just exciting, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the biggest goal from our standpoint is growing the brand and seeing what we can do with that and going from there.
I've always personally wanted to go indoor arena team. That has been in the future works. We're just trying to get venue and stuff, which is
Exciting.
hard to do.
Well,
But-
after that Burlington game, I agree. Good
yeah.
call.
No more muddy weather.
After that Burlington game, and then 2 years when I was coaching on this staff, the Burlington game in Burlington at the old Y was an absolute disaster. I'm still very salty about the pair of shoes I lost. But regardless, anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the time off with your kids and your family. Your guys' work does not go unnoticed. What we've put together here is really, really strong, and we're looking forward to bringing that good content and growing that brand here over the coming weeks and hopefully years, right? So thank you guys again for taking the time.
Cool, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back after this message to wrap it up here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Looking to level up your game this offseason or take care of your body midseason for that late season playoff push? Then Badlands Fitness is the place for you. Badlands Fitness is the Quad City's choice for elite athletic training for athletes of all ages, all sports, and levels. Contact them at 309-617-6416. Badlands Fitness, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. From maintaining that perfect smile to the most complex dental needs, Parkway View Family Dentistry is committed to providing you and your team with safe, gentle, and high-quality dental care. Sensitive to your needs, it is their goal to make you feel comfortable visiting their practice while providing the best possible care. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information can be provided or schedule an appointment by calling 309-792-0513. Parkway View Family Dentistry, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks. If you're in the mood for some new ink, look no further than Pearl City Tattoo. Bill Kaufman opened Pearl City Tattoo in 2005 and has grown to be the most recommended tattoo shop in Muscatine, believing that every customer deserves the best experience possible, and they set the standard for communication, prompt scheduling, and transparent pricing. If you have questions, you can reach out to Bill on Facebook and Instagram or contact them at 563-263-7001, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. Have some critters bugging you and your home team or business? Call The Bugman, the top quality pest control service in Muscatine. Services include tackling ants, bed bugs, bees, cockroaches, fleas or mites, hornets, wasps, home inspections, and so much more. Give them a call at 563-554-2847. The Bugman, proud sponsor of the Muscatine Riverhawks. And we are back here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Tyler Bean, former Monmouth College wide receiver Jake Landry. Jake, it was good to have Melissa Johnson and Samantha Bass on. Gave us a bit of a different perspective, did it not?
Oh, of course. You definitely can see now all the work that they do, and we really appreciate it.
Well, and it's work that we don't necessarily see. We work with Kyle and Eric much more, and so to have them sit down and give us the insight on the things that they handle for the team was good to see. So thank you again, Melissa and Sam, for giving us just a few minutes of your time. back to business in terms of the upcoming bye week. It is a league-wide bye week, so no football this week, including here on the Riverhawks Media Network. While we are very saddened for that, I know you yourself are getting ready to be a Monmouth College graduate, and again, congratulations for that. I'll be sure to put that on the broadcast the week following, where we'll be taking on the Quad City Nighthawks. And just getting back to what we talked about earlier on in the show, Eric Johnson, 2 points. Coaching, got to have a better use of player personnel. And when it comes to the players, just, learning how to get punched in the mouth and getting up from it, I think is going to help this team in the long run. What other things do we need to look forward to in this bye week, Jake?
Well, just talking to Eric a few minutes ago, he said that this bye week is going to be huge for players to recover, like I touched on earlier in the podcast. But from what I've learned is a lot of offensive line up front. There's been a couple injuries for almost every single guy in that front line. Of course, it's the trenches. That's the toughest part of the field. Whenever you play this game, if you are offensive lineman, defensive lineman, you're getting hit every play. So this is going to be huge for the offensive line this week because, like I said, I've said this over and over, we've seen when this offensive line protects that quarterback, it looks good. It looks like a solid football play. So them resting up is going to be a huge deal for this bye week coming up.
Yeah, I think from here on out, the remainder of the year, the battle is going to be in the trenches every single week. And again, this league every year continues to get much more competitive than the last. And the Riverhawks right now in 6th place at 1-2 as they look to take on the Quad City Nighthawks after the bye week following this week. And we will have that episode of Riverhawks Weekly from the main home, my home. And the other thing I wanted to mention too, something interesting that we can kind of dive into is Sam did mention their aspirations to go indoor. And I know you talked about the Burlington game and how wet and muddy that was. How interesting would it be for the Riverhawks organization to move to indoor?
Well, here we are talking about conditions again, partner. I'm pretty sure they're tired of it, but I mean, that's just a huge difference because you don't have to battle the elements, and it's just a totally different game. Some people, I've never played an indoor football game in my life, so that's just a totally different experience. But if that pans out, that'll be something interesting to look into.
Well, and at the same time, I believe indoor provides much more exposure to players. I mean, obviously, Sam and Melissa touch base on, impacting guys' lives, getting them out of specific situations that they don't want to be in. And when you're talking about indoor football, I know the Central Illinois Royals did it this year. You're giving the opportunity for guys to get much more exposure. So hoping to hear some more information on that. And if we hear anything that we can release, we'll certainly give that to you on the Riverhawks Media Network. And obviously, I've said it a couple of times, it is league-wide bye week, so no games this week. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thank you for everything that you do. And then more news that I received this week from ownership is that one of the coaches on the Riverhawks coaching staff, Matt Mott, is engaged. So congratulations to you, Coach. That is fantastic. Jake, anything you want to take home, brother?
Well, just sad that there's no football to watch. I didn't even get to do a chalk talk, but you know what? I'm excited for this league to kick up again. It's going to be such a good time. A lot more football to go, partner.
Yep, a lot more football to go, and hopefully more Riverhawks wins on their quest to their second MA8FL championship, and it'll all be right here. So for Tyler Bean and former Monmouth College wide receiver Jake Landry, signing off. This is Riverhawks Weekly right here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Take care, folks.
If you're in the Davenport area, check out the Dam View. Welcome to your favorite dive bar tucked away downtown. They host a wide range of beers, many of which are local, as well as daily specials, good service, and a large patio. Contact them at 563-324-4434. Proud supporters of the Muscatine Riverhawks.
We're back here on the Riverhawks Media Network. Diallo gets the ball, heads left, heads to the right. He breaks a couple of tackles, and he could go. He's to the 20, to the 10. Could go all the way for a Boonies Riverhawks touchdown.
Man, I'm hungry.
And what's this, folks? Change of events as Diallo's off the field. Looks like he's on Iowa Avenue in Muscatine. I think he said something about being hungry. He crosses the street. He jumps the curb. Oh, look no further. He's at Boonies on the Avenue. Let's head inside.
What's a pizza?
That is an MVP play, and you could be the MVP of your team at home by heading to Boonies on the Avenue in Muscatine. A family restaurant with over 27 big screen TVs, daily food and drink specials to cater the needs of any sports fan, from a rookie to a Hall of Famer. Looking for a night out or a place to watch the big game? Look no further than Boonies on the Avenue, located at 214 Iowa Avenue in Muscatine, or by phone at 563-263-0626. Boonies on the Avenue, proud sponsors of Muscatine Riverhawks football. If you are looking for a place for fellowship and worship with great people, look no further than River City Church, welcoming those small walks of life and faith with 2 Sunday services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. in Moline and 10 a.m. in Milan. More information can be provided by calling 309-764-5685 or 309-558-0065. River City Church, proud sponsors of the Muscatine River. This is the portion of our broadcast where you can see your ad in our next upcoming podcast or live stream game. The Muscatine Riverhawks provide a wide variety of sponsorship packages to cater the needs of your business. More information on these packages can be provided to you from Kyle Bass or Eric Johnson, and their contact information is 563-299-8334 or 309-721-5560. We look forward to your support this season, and as always, go Riverhawks.
To keep up with everything Muscatine Riverhawks, follow us on all social media platforms to see everything behind the scenes, weekly podcasts, and of course, our live streams of games every Sunday. You can follow us on Facebook at Muscatine Riverhawks Media Network, on Instagram at Muscatine Riverhawks, Twitter at Riverhawks_MN. You can follow us on YouTube at Muscatine Riverhawks Media Network, and then you can follow us on Snapchat at Riverhawks 2017.